Have you ever wondered why cats can't resist catnip? Why this simple herb sends them into a frenzy of joy and excitement? Picture this, a quiet, unassuming plant with heart-shaped leaves and a minty aroma. This is catnip, or Nepeta cataria, a member of the mint family. To us humans, it might just be another plant, but for our feline companions, it's a source of pure, unadulterated joy. One whiff, and they're rolling, purring, leaping, and even drooling with delight. But what is it about this plant that turns even the most aloof and dignified cat into a bundle of ecstatic energy? Here's where the mystery deepens. You see, not all cats respond to catnip. In fact, only about 50 to 70% of cats seem to be affected by this herb. That's right, your cat might be totally immune to the catnip craze. This response, or lack thereof, is not linked to breed, age, or gender. It's all down to genetics. Some cats are simply born with the sensitivity to catnip, while others aren't. So, if you've been wondering why your cat seems indifferent to the catnip stuffed mouse you bought, it's not because they're ungrateful. They might just not have the catnip gene. But for the cats that do respond, the effects are quite entertaining to watch. Some cats will rub their faces in it, others will roll around, and some might even start to chase invisible prey. This euphoria can last up to 15 minutes, after which the cat becomes temporarily immune to the effects of catnip for a few hours. So, what makes this unassuming plant so irresistible to our feline friends? Is it the smell, the taste, or is there something more at play here? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into the science behind the catnip craze. To understand the catnip phenomenon, we first need to understand a bit about cat biology. And a great place to start is the feline sense of smell. You see, cats have a sense of smell that is far superior to ours. While we humans have around 6 million olfactory receptors, cats have a whopping 200 million. This makes their sense of smell about 14 times stronger than ours. What does this mean in practice? Well, cats use their highly developed sense of smell to communicate and understand their world. They can detect and interpret a wide range of scents, which help them identify food, mates, predators, and much more. It's like having a superpower, only instead of X-ray vision or super strength, they get super smell. Now, let's introduce the concept of pheromones. Pheromones are chemical signals that animals release into the environment to communicate with others of their species. For cats, these pheromones play a crucial role in their social behavior. They help cats identify each other, mark territory, find mates, and even signal aggression or fear. Here's where it gets interesting. Certain smells can trigger specific behaviors in cats, and these smells often mimic the pheromones that cats naturally produce. This is where catnip comes into play. Catnip, or Nepeta cataria, is a member of the mint family, but it's far from your regular garden herb. It's packed full of a volatile oil called nepetalactone. Now, nepetalactone has a unique property. When a cat gets a whiff of it, the smell closely resembles the pheromones that cats naturally produce. This tricks the cat's brain into responding as if it's encountering these pheromones. And it turns out catnip has a special chemical that mimics these pheromones. This is why cats go crazy for catnip. It's not just a pleasant smell, but a chemical deception that taps directly into the cat's biological communication system. It's truly fascinating how nature has its unique ways of influencing behavior, isn't it? Meet nepetalactone, the secret weapon of catnip. This mysterious compound is the unsung hero behind the feline frenzy. It's a type of terpenoid organic chemicals that are found in many types of plants. But there's something very special about nepetalactone. Picture this, a molecule of nepetalactone floating in the air, making its way into a cat's nostrils. It's here that the real magic happens. This molecule binds itself to the olfactory receptors in the cat's nose, essentially hijacking the cat's sense of smell. But it's not a hostile takeover, quite the opposite in fact. Nepetalactone mimics the effects of cat pheromones, those chemical messengers that play such a crucial role in feline communication. It's like the catnip plant is speaking the cat's own language, and what it's saying is incredibly compelling. This chemical deception triggers a euphoric response in the cat's brain. The cat becomes hyperactive, purring, rolling, and leaping about. It's a bit like the feline version of a dance party, all thanks to that little molecule of nepetalactone. But why does nepetalactone have this effect on cats? Well, scientists aren't entirely sure. It's possible that the catnip plant evolved this chemical to deter insects, and the effect on cats is just a happy accident. Or perhaps there's something more to it. We still have much to learn about the mysterious world of catnip. However, it's important to note that not all cats are affected by catnip. It seems to be a genetic trait, and about 1/3 of all cats don't respond to it at all. For those cats, nepetalactone might as well be invisible. But for the cats that do respond, nepetalactone is a ticket to a world of sensory delight. And it's all thanks to a little plant that learned to speak the language of cats. So when a cat smells catnip, it's not just smelling a plant. It's getting a whiff of pure, concentrated happiness. But what does a catnip high look like exactly? Well, imagine your typical house cat, usually a model of feline decorum. Now picture that same cat rolling around on the floor, rubbing its face against anything and everything, purring like a freight train, and leaping around like a kitten. These are all common behaviors seen in cats under the influence of catnip. And it doesn't stop there. Some cats may drool or even exhibit an aggressive playfulness. It's quite a sight to behold, and it's all thanks to a humble plant. But why these particular behaviors? Why the rolling and rubbing, the leaping and purring? It might seem like erratic behavior to us, but in the world of cats, these actions have a specific meaning. They're all part of a cat's mating behavior. Yes, that's correct. When your cat is rolling around on the floor, rubbing her cheeks against the furniture, and purring like she's just found the perfect spot, she's essentially exhibiting behaviors associated with courtship and mating. So when a cat inhales the scent of catnip, it's not just experiencing a high. It's reacting as if it's come across a potential mate. This further supports the pheromone theory, which suggests that the active chemical in catnip, nepetalactone, mimics the pheromones produced by a female cat in heat. But remember, not all cats respond to catnip. There's a genetic component at play here, and around 1/3 of cats are seemingly immune to its effects. So if your cat doesn't go crazy for catnip, don't worry. It's not missing out on a feline rite of passage. It just doesn't have the specific gene that triggers the response. So the next time you sprinkle some catnip on your cat's favorite toy and watch as they go wild, remember, you're not just providing them with a fun diversion. You're tapping into their deep-seated, instinctual behaviors. So catnip, in essence, is a love potion for cats. But here's something you might not know. Not all cats are affected by catnip. Yes, you heard that right. Just like us humans, cats too have their individual preferences and genetic predispositions. To understand this, let's dive a little deeper into the world of feline genetics. You see, the sensitivity to catnip isn't a universal trait among cats. It's actually hereditary. That's right, the gene that makes a cat responsive to the euphoric effects of catnip is passed down from generation to generation. However, here's the catch. Not every cat inherits this trait. In fact, research suggests that around 30% of cats don't respond to catnip at all. No matter how much you sprinkle around, these cats just seem to shrug it off and go about their business. They might even give you a look that says, "What's all the fuss about?" So if you've been wondering why your feline friend doesn't seem to care for the catnip-filled toys you bought, it's not because they're picky. They're simply part of the 30% who are genetically immune to the effects of catnip. And it's not just about genetics. Age plays a part too. Kittens, especially those under 3 months, typically show no interest in catnip. Their brains are still developing and haven't yet developed the ability to respond to nepetalactone, the active ingredient in catnip. And on the other end of the spectrum, senior cats may also show less interest in catnip as their senses dull with age. So next time you bring home a fresh batch of catnip, don't be surprised if your cat doesn't seem as excited as you are. Remember, they're not being snobbish or ungrateful. They might just belong to the group of cats that don't find catnip all that appealing. So if your cat doesn't go crazy for catnip, don't worry. They're not broken, they're just different. And that's perfectly okay. After all, it's these differences that make our feline friends so fascinating and lovable. Now you might be wondering, does catnip have the same effect on humans? Well, Let's dive into it. Unlike our feline friends, we humans don't get the same euphoric reaction from catnip. But that's not to say it doesn't affect us at all. In fact, catnip has been used for centuries in various cultures for its subtle, calming effects. You see, catnip contains a compound called nepetalactone, which is the same substance that sends cats into a state of utter bliss. Humans, however, process nepetalactone differently. We don't get high on it, but it can still have some beneficial effects on our system. Ever heard of catnip tea? Yes, it's a thing. The leaves of the catnip plant can be brewed into a tea that's known for promoting relaxation and sleep. It's a go-to remedy for those restless nights when sleep seems elusive. The soothing aroma and mild flavor can help calm the mind and ease you into a restful slumber. But that's not all. Catnip is also used in the form of essential oils. Just a few drops in a diffuser or a steamy bath can create a tranquil environment, easing stress and anxiety. It's like a mini spa treatment right in the comfort of your home. However, it's important to note that catnip should be used responsibly. It's not meant to be smoked or consumed in large quantities. Overdoing it can lead to headaches, nausea, or even excessive drowsiness. Always remember, moderation is key. So, while we might not roll around on the floor in pure ecstasy like our kitty companions, catnip does have a place in our human lives. It's a natural remedy that can help us unwind and relax. And let's admit it, there's something pretty cool about sharing a plant with our feline friends. So while we might not get the same joy out of a catnip mouse, we can still appreciate this fascinating plant. So there you have it, the science behind why cats can't resist catnip. We've journeyed through the intriguing world of catnip, diving into the heart of the feline fascination with this plant. It all starts with the chemical nepetalactone, the magic ingredient in catnip. This chemical, which is found in the leaves and stems of the plant, triggers a response in cats that is truly remarkable. Nepetalactone is a master of disguise, mimicking the pheromones that are naturally produced by cats. This mimicry tricks the cat's brain into believing it's encountering these pheromones, leading to the euphoric behaviors we often observe. The rolling, purring, and overall delight seen in cats under the influence of catnip can be attributed to this clever chemical deception. But remember, not all cats are susceptible to the allure of catnip. This fascinating phenomenon is inherited, and around 1/3 of the feline population are completely immune to its effects. So if your furry friend doesn't seem interested in that new catnip toy, don't fret. It doesn't mean they're abnormal. They're just part of the catnip immune group. And let's not forget about us, the humans in this story. While we may not roll on the floor or purr at the scent of catnip, it does have its effects on us. Some people find the scent calming, and it has been used in traditional medicine for centuries. But remember, it's not going to give you a feline high. So, whether you're a cat lover, a science enthusiast, or just someone who loves learning new things, we hope this deep dive into the world of catnip has been enlightening. Next time you see a cat rolling in delight over a catnip toy, you'll know exactly what's going on. Thanks for watching.